Hello, I'm the Reverend Point Blank, and we just chillin'. Your words and your deeds are your seeds. The hearts of people is the different ground. What's in their heads is the weather, but you gotta know what you want to grow in your life.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're doing something a little bit different.
Yeah, a really unique approach.
Instead of wading through a whole pile of articles, we are going deep, plunging into just one single, really intense source.
And it's a philosophical poem by the Reverend Point Blank called A Child of God, a poem on consequence.
Oh, I'm sorry. Got caught up in the music. I guess I lost my thoughts for a moment there. Anyway, so I said to the brother, point blank, so you're a child of God, huh? Some of you lying people make me numb. Please understand, I wasn't innocent. It was the lust that happened, so I just went. But the clock is ticking on a relentless and a silent drum. And years move like water, but they rapidly come. It's not just the preachers. It's every person on this earth. The end will surely come, and what will be your worth? You fill your days with chatter and a whole lot of haste. And precious currency that we give to you, often, in most cases, it's just a waste. We chase the fleeting pleasures and look for a bright gain, and leave a deeper calling of our own in the thunderous rain. You see, in this hurried race and the striving moving tide, you build up lies where truth should reside. We know the path that virtue sometimes bids us tread. It's the words of wisdom and light of which a wise man once said. Yet, for sure, we all stumble and then we make an easy plea. But the truth is surely coming, then maybe you might finally see. Because everything you say and do don't come to me, it comes right back to you. That's a promised whisper and a forgotten art that makes a hollow echo in the bottom of your heart. The seeds of goodness you left waiting in the sun is left unplanted until judgment day comes. Consider now the tapestry that yourself have weaved, the memories and moments that you honestly truly believe. It comes back like a seed planted in the grass, and rest assured, you will pay with your ass. Think of what you do, define your purpose and make it burst, because the seeds you are planting today will be your tomorrow's worth. The things you do, does it bring you solace? Does it have any worth? Or does it just fall in the ground mixed with the dusty earth? If every action you cast, every decision made so clear, could you stand steady and free of doubt and of fear? For every thought you think that's unruly, each word said unkind, you leave a deep impression on someone's soul and their mind. A call to change is not a sudden sound, but an instant whisper for everyone around. It's in a quiet pause, yea, in the mirror's view, a starting glimpse of what you need to do, to right the wrong, to shed the heavy weight before the closing of the temple's gate, to step outside the shadow of the past and make the present moment truly last. For time is finite, and each breath we draw is not governed by man, but this is the universal law. And the day will come when all the suns are set, and everything you've said and done by this universe hand will finally be met. So let the spirit rise, shake off the dust, and plant good seeds firmly on truth and trust. Live not for comfort, but for consequence, and find your true and lasting wealth in the seed of recompense. Point blank, enjoy your time.
Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're doing something a little bit different.
Yeah, a really unique approach.
Instead of wading through a whole pile of articles, we are going deep, plunging into just one single really intense source.
And it's a philosophical poem by the Reverend Point Blank called A Child of God, a poem on consequence.
It's such a powerful choice, I think.
It is, because this text just operates as a complete unified challenge. It forces you, the listener, to do an immediate, almost non-negotiable inventory of your life.
So what's our mission here? What are we trying to pull out of it?
We want to excavate the central question it poses, which is, what does it actually look like, moment by moment, to live a life that's defined by consequence?
Instead of just comfort.
Exactly. Instead of just going with the flow or seeking comfort.
And the poet really doesn't ease you into it at all. The very first line is this immediate demand. It just cuts through everything.
Oh, yeah.
So, you're a child of God, huh?
Right. It's an assertion, but it's also a challenge. It carries this inherent weight of accountability.
It forces you to try and reconcile your identity with your actual actions.
And what's so crucial is that the poem just strips away all of your external defenses. It's a meditation on, let's say, moral application, not doctrine.
Okay, so it's not about belief, it's about evidence.
Precisely. If you claim a certain identity, what does the evidence of your daily choices actually show? It's all about that ultimate accounting of our time.
Let's unpack that, because time is exactly where the poem begins. It immediately establishes time as this constant, non-renewable resource.
He sets the stakes right away.
The imagery is just incredible. It describes how the clock ticks on a relentless, silent drum.
That phrase, relentless silent drum, is so instructive.
How so?
Well, it removes any romantic idea of time just passing. It replaces it with this image of, mechanical, indifferent inevitability. Time isn't waiting for you.
It's just moving.
It's just moving.
Yeah.
And that creates this fatalistic pressure that demands you respond now.
And then he connects that to the years moving, like drops of water that swiftly come.
Which immediately shifts the focus from just having time to the specific use of time.
And the poem just dives right into the core failure of how we use it. He says we tend to fill the days with chatter and with haste.
Which is the exact opposite of what we should be doing.
Yeah.
We're wasting this precious currency buying little distractions instead of real change.
It's a constant trade-off then.
Always. We're actively chasing, what does he say? The fleeting pleasure, the bright gain.
That instant gratification.
Right, the comfort, the material reward. But the poem asks, what's the cost? We leave the deeper calling in the rain.
I want to zero in on that image for a second. Leaving the calling in the rain, that's more than just ignoring it.
Oh, much more. It implies an exponential cost, a decay.
So if you leave something valuable out in the rain, it doesn't just wait for you.
Exactly. It degrades, it gets waterlogged, it rusts. That profound work, that virtue, when you finally decide to go back to it, the energy you need to repair the damage is so much greater.
It's a brilliant way to frame opportunity cost.
It really is.
And that idea of decay, of structural decay, it sets up the next section perfectly. It leads us into what the poet calls the hollow echo.
The architecture of procrastination.
Yeah. The poem says that in this hurried race, the striving tide, we actively sabotage ourselves. We build up walls where truth should now reside.
And that phrase, build up walls, is such a killer psychological observation.
Because they're not external walls.
Not at all. They're internal. They're the rationalizations, the distractions, the willful ignorance we construct to protect ourselves from the discomfort of looking in the mirror.
And the easiest tool we have for that, the easiest brick to lay in that wall, is what he calls the easy plea.
Ah, yes. The universal promise.
Tomorrow, surely I will finally be. It's always tomorrow.
Philosophically, this is the essence of akrasia, right? The state of acting against your own better judgment. The poet calls it a forgotten art, which suggests we've gotten really, really good at portraying ourselves.
And the result of that is immediate.
It makes a hollow echo in the heart.
The hollow echo. So that's the direct consequence of the easy plea.
Precisely. It's the sound of the void where your commitment is supposed to be. Your heart knows the standard, but when the action isn't there, the space is just empty. It's dissonance.
And then the analysis gets so physical, he links this emotional echo to this amazing agricultural metaphor.
This is one of my favorite parts.
The seed of goodness waiting for the sun is left unplanted till the day is done. It just simplifies the whole moral struggle down to one thing: planting.
The seed is your intention. The sun is this present moment, the energy you need for it to grow.
So by delaying, you're not just preserving the seed for later.
No, you're ensuring its potential stays dormant. You're waiting until the growing season is over. The tragedy here isn't that you'll fail to get a harvest, it's that you never even started to plant.
No action, no consequence.
The result.
So if that seed is unplanted, how do we even begin to assess the value of the life we're living? And that takes us right into the next section, where the poet asks the listener to consider now the tapestry you weave.
And that tapestry metaphor is, it's the ultimate summary of your life. It's everything, actions, thoughts, words, all stitched together.
It's the way he suggests you define your purpose, mark your vital worth.
Right.
And he gives us a test for that worth, and it is incredibly stark. Does this tapestry you're weaving bring solace or just dusty earth?
Solace, meaning peace, meaning for yourself and others, and dusty earth, which is just barrenness, regret, inaction.
And this is where his definition of consequence gets so rigorous. He asks if you could stand steady, free from doubt and fear, if every single thread of that tapestry were laid bare.
Total, unflinching accountability for every single moment.
But here's the part that is maybe the most challenging. He says consequence applies beyond just your visible actions. It extends to your internal life.
Yes, this is crucial.
The line is, for every thought unruly, each word unkind leaves deep impressions on the soul and the mind.
This really moves the whole discussion beyond simple behaviorism and into, deep spiritual or psychological accountability. It reminds me of Stoicism a bit. The idea that the only thing you truly control is your internal world, your judgment, your thoughts. If you let unruly thoughts just run wild in your head, they're still having an impact on your consciousness.
But if my unruly thought stays inside my own head, how does it leave an impression? Why should I care about that internal pull?
Because the poem argues that the quality of your internal life dictates the material you have to work with for your tapestry. Chaos inside produces a chaotic weave.
Okay.
An unruly thought, even if no one else sees it, is an act of creation inside your own mind. It lowers your state, it reinforces bad mental habits, and it just makes it harder to find that solace he's talking about.
So those deep impressions are like this spiritual sediment that makes it harder to choose the right thing tomorrow.
Exactly. It connects the internal pollution to the external result. If your internal architecture is weak, you can't stand steady, free from doubt and fear when a real challenge hits you. The internal consequence always comes first.
So if we are failing, if we're building walls and leaving the garden unplanted, how does the poem suggest we begin to fix that, to shed that heavy weight?
I think the poem is incredibly empathetic here. It suggests change isn't, some catastrophic event or a loud divine command.
Right.
The call to change is not a sudden sound, but an insistent whisper for all around. It's consistent, it's gentle, but you have to be listening for it.
That idea of an insistent whisper, it implies the truth is always there. We just drown it out with all the haste and chatter from earlier.
We do. And the poem even tells us where to find those moments of revelation.
Where are they?
They're found in stillness. In the quiet pause, the mirror's view, and the startling glimpse of what you need to do. You have to stop and create the space to hear the whisper.
The mirror's view. That's that moment of honest self-confrontation.
It is. It's where your ideal self clashes with your actual self.
But then the poem immediately pivots from that quiet pause right back to urgency. It tells us to right the wrongs, to shed the heavy weight, before the closing of the temple's gate.
And that image, the temple's gate closing, it's such powerful finality. It's a metaphor for death, of course, but it's also about the closing of opportunity.
So there's a window for action.
A window for meaningful action. And once it's shut, once the consequences are set, well, the effort becomes futile.
Which is why the poet tells us to make this present moment truly last. It's not about the past or the future. It's about using the currency of now.
That's the opposite of the hollow echo, isn't it? To make the moment last is to commit a conscious, consequential act within it. It links the whisper of change back to that relentless drum of time.
And this urgency brings us to the final section, the universal law and final command. The poem synthesizes everything.
Yeah, he brings it all together. He reiterates that time is finite and each breath we draw is governed by a universal law.
This makes accountability feel bigger than just personal opinion or social rules. It's cosmic.
It's the truth of existence. And no matter how good we are at building walls, the day will come when all the sun is set.
And on that day, the poem is brutally clear. Everything done will be what's meant.
No external saving mechanism. The consequence is the result. The tapestry is what it is.
Which leads to the core thesis of the whole poem.
The actionable directive. Live not for comfort, but for consequence. This is the fundamental choice. Comfort is temporary ease. Consequence is lasting meaning.
And the reward for making that hard choice, for living by consequence, is your true and lasting recompense. What is that exactly?
It's the solace. It's the peace that comes from internal alignment and external integrity. It's knowing the tapestry you wove is sound, it's beautiful. The reward isn't just avoiding punishment, it's the fulfillment of your potential.
So the final command kind of sums up the whole journey. First, let the spirit rise, shake off the dust, get rid of the old guilt, be in action.
And then the commitment, and plant the banner firmly on your trust.
That banner, that's the visible declaration of your choice.
It is. It's the statement that says, I am no longer defined by the easy plea, but by the relentless drum.
Wow, so this deep dive into a child of God really reveals this profound challenge. We started with the certainty of time decaying, we moved through the self-deception of the hollow echo, and we ended with this imperative to live by consequence.
And realizing that every single unruly thought leaves a measurable impression on your soul.
It's a whole self-assessment toolkit in verse.
The core message really is that accountability starts right now, in this moment. By understanding the cost of leaving that deeper calling in the rain, we're just better equipped to hear the whisper and choose that lasting recompense.
So this poem is asking you, the listener, to assess the very texture of your life. So if you consider that question, does the tapestry you weave bring solace or just dusty earth? And you have the instruction to shed the heavy weight now. If the only legacy that mattered was that final assessment, what small internal wrong, what instance of delayed action would you need to write right now to ensure that solace instead of dust?
That's a powerful thought to sit with. And remember the poet's final sign-off, which, after all this, has incredible weight. Enjoy your time.
Until the next deep dive, reflect on what it means to plant your banner of trust. See you soon.
You know, the family is the solution.